What's going on, guys? This is Davis, and today we're going to be taking a look at the iPad Air 3rd generation. Let's get into it. Alright, so as mentioned, this is the 3rd generation iPad Air. And before we get into this video, I'd like to mention that hopefully it's something you guys appreciate. So I got a little bit of a microphone upgrade, as I'm sure that anybody has listened to any of my previous videos can hear in the sound quality. I just usually record with my phone. I've got a nice little tripod, 3D printed tripod set up here for it. But I bought, to anybody wondering, I bought the the iPhone camera adapter or whatever that allows you to plug in like a camera so you can import pictures. And what I did is I plugged in my microphone into it. Kind of give you a look at what it is. It's really nothing special. I bought it for like 40 or some bucks off of Amazon, but I think it sounds stupendous for the price that I paid for it. But anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of read off some of the specs for you. Got them up here in my laptop. So this has got the A12 processor, not the A12X, just the A12. The A12X is reserved for the iPad Pro, which I personally think is a great processor. It seems like this thing can pretty much handle whatever you throw at it. It'll play Fortnite at close to the highest settings. I'm not going to say it's getting 60 FPS, but it's definitely decent. And I use it personally. One of the biggest use cases I use it for is video editing. If I can log into it here. So I use an app called LumaFusion. And to anybody interested in doing video editing on a mobile device, this is the combination to use. The iPad and the Apple Pencil. And I do want to apologize for the shitty lighting here. There's not really much I can do about that. I tried to get it at a decent angle, but maybe I can. That helps a little bit. But anyway, yeah, that's most of what I use it for. I do play some games on it, but for the most part, I use it for video editing. Yeah, it's got the A12X processor, and I believe 3 gigs of RAM. Although I'm not really entirely sure, because I think I pulled up the wrong spec sheet, which is great, or this one's just severely wrong. But anyway, yeah, it's very similar. I think it's actually got the exact same specs pretty much as like, so I have the iPhone XR in combo with this, and I think it's got the same exact processor in there, but it expands very well into a tablet, because as many of you know, or maybe not, the A12 processor series is at this moment in time the most powerful SoC that you can find on pretty much any device. The A12X obviously takes the cake, almost beating out some MacBooks with i7s in that similar range, which I think is extremely impressive. That's the entire reason why I bought this tablet, because I was so interested in the use case. I wanted to go for the iPad Pro, but I couldn't really justify a reason besides for those nice bezels, but iOS doesn't really take advantage of that anyway. Let me go into the settings. This one has got 64 gigs of memory, and I will admit that I wish I would have opted for the 256 gig option, because with video editing that would be extremely useful, because, you know, with all the apps I have loaded on this bad boy, it takes about 32 gigs, and you know that the rest of that 32 gigs is pretty much just about enough for the 4K 60 FPS files that I import into it from my iPhone. But this currently has the most recent open beta of iPad OS, and I think that's 13.3. Let's see if I can find it in here. Is that where it's at? Okay, it says 13.0, but I think it's the third open beta, so it might not be a point anything, but I think that it is the third open beta. And I got to admit, the iPad OS is absolutely fantastic. It's the best tablet operating system I've ever used, and when you compare it to Android, it's leap and bounds above anything that they have to offer. And Android has their use cases, but I really don't think that a professional environment tablet is it. But I think Samsung would probably like to argue with that. And the first thing you kind of see that's different between iPad OS is they changed the layout a little bit, so that you've got your widgets just sitting here on the home screen. And I think that makes complete sense, because the screen is huge. There's no reason to not populate it with something, right? And I think that the widgets app is a fantastic spot for that. So yeah, like I mentioned, I use it majorly for video editing, and that would be in the creativity tab. I also use it for, I'm not going to say I'm a great artist, because I'm not. I'm a terrible artist. But, yeah, like, seriously, I can't draw. But, oh, wait, hold on. Let's get the Apple Pencil kind of paired up here. Just give me one moment. And to pair the Apple Pencil, all you have to do is plug it into the charging port. Just like so. Pull it back out. Take the cap back on there, otherwise I'll lose it. And there we are. One of the biggest features that Apple likes to brag about, I'm sorry about that, with the newest iPad OS version is the decreased Apple Pencil latency, which I am going to be honest, I didn't notice the latency in the first place, but apparently it's faster, so that's cool. You know, it's extremely accurate, and I have terrible handwriting in the first place, but here's some scribbles for you. Extremely accurate for what it's designed to do. For the most part, in actual drawing applications, I usually just use it for drawing up ideas. Like if I have an idea for something, I think one of the last things I drew up was some kind of a wrist interface device that I wanted to use for a project I was designing. But that's for another video. And as I mentioned, it's absolutely fantastic with games. So if I wanted to go through and open one up here, I've been playing a lot of Ark Survival Evolved for any of you console gamers out there that have played this game. It is fantastic on the mobile device. I think it's got 4.4 stars or something on the iPad. I don't know why it's making me sign in now, because it's always been signed in, but anyway, here we are. Continue that game. And I'll admit, it looks very similar to like the standard Xbox versions. Probably better than the Switch version, but I'm going to be honest, I haven't really played it. Yeah, I haven't really played a whole lot of it, but it was more so just to kind of see what this bad boy could do. As you can see, these graphics are absolutely fantastic for what it is. Right? This is a tablet, and we've really come a long ways in as far as tablet gaming in the past, I don't know, 5 years. Really, it's stupendous. I wouldn't have seen a game like this running on a mobile device for at least another, 3-4 years, but here we are. Another staple for the iPad is Fortnite, everybody's favorite battle royale game, depending on who you are. I'm not really all into the battle royale, but I can hop into the starting little island thingy real quick for you. Gonna give you a little look at what this game looks like on a mobile device, and I believe that this is turned up to max settings, but it doesn't quite hold that 60 FPS mark, but I wouldn't expect it to at max settings. Oh, hey, I haven't logged in, so we're not going to do that, but we're just going to skip right over that. So let's go dive a little bit more into my use case. So like I said, I like to video edit with it. And on average, a 10-minute 4K video usually takes, I don't know, like 15 minutes to render. And for, a mobile device, 4K, 60 FPS, I personally think that's very impressive. I wouldn't have expected that anywhere near that close. This application, though, it does have some issues. I've had quite a bit of issues trying to get it to render, but the saving grace for that seems to be the option that you can, it has a consolidate and option in there, and that seems to fix pretty much any issue I've had. And this is not in frame, sorry about that. But like I said, that's mostly what I use it for. I usually have it in this spec case. I would not recommend this case in any way, shape, or form. I use it because that's what I have. But the main problem with this case is that you cannot reach the volume options. So the volume buttons just don't work. And I kind of wonder if that is due to the fact, this isn't really pressed in there all the way, but I kind of wonder if that's due to the fact that maybe I bought the iPad Air 2nd generation version, but I really wouldn't see that being the problem because the buttons are in the exact same place. So, don't know what to tell you on that, but yeah, I think this is, all in all, I think this tablet's actually fantastic, and I've said that so many times throughout this video, but it really is a great tablet, and for anybody that really has any mobile computing needs, I would recommend it over the iPad Pro, just simply because I seriously don't think that X mark on that A12 processor is really worth the extra so this is like $500. iPad Pro starts at $800 for the 11-inch version, so I don't think that that's worth it, but I guess it's completely up to you whether you decide that extra $300 is worth it. But yeah, so this is my review on the iPad Air 3rd generation, and I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.